Welcome, everybody. Of course, as you guys know, I am your host for the Islamic Talk Show, Ms. Patu Loca, and I am very thrilled and excited to share with you guys today's live women's talk panel. I do know that, yes, a sister was moving kind of fast when it came to the live talk panel, because with the live talk panel, you know, I know you guys saw the video, and I know the video was supposed to be 1 hour, but we was having so much fun in the conversation. And I know in part 2, I was letting you guys know that I was going to cover something more of the seriousness when it comes to MBW, because I did have a lot of the guys say, "Oh no, you didn't cover the seriousness part." I'm like, "Yeah, we got to start off light and bubbly." Of course, as you guys know, I am Ms. Patu Loca, and you guys can catch me on the SCBN Network on Roku TV, where you can definitely find the Get Inside Me show. But this is the Get Inside Me Google Plus, where we can actually join in, talk, and everything. And once, in the future, I am hoping to do this panel where it's us ladies together on worldwide TV, talking about the same topic. Now, I wanted to make clear, because I know a lot of like Latin guys and Arabian guys and all the guys that I was talking about and breaking down the best thing about dating each nationality were like, "Oh, that's not fair. Everything with you is always Asian, Asian, Asian." Okay, yeah, Asians are sexy, so hello. But just like I was telling you guys that we're covering all nationality. We're gonna talk about all of this. So the same way you're seeing all of us ladies getting together, talking about our experiences, sharing it, I'm going to be putting together the same thing where it's all Middle Eastern guys and Arabian guys and all, European and white guys and, and all Asian panel. Like, it's going to be like that. So it's never too late to sign up. You'll find all the information and the people, like the single ladies, in here in the description box down below. Of course, we're a little light, but chances are, the room probably get packed. So, of course, you guys know, we're going to kick it off with Tomi. Tomi, please tell them your name and where you come from.
Hi, my name is Tomi. I'm 26 and I'm from New Jersey.
And then let's go to the baby.
Hi, my name is Shay. I'm 18. I am from Savannah, Georgia, 30 South. Yeah.
Now, it was crazy because you were saying that, she was saying how when she was on her way going to work, she ran into, somebody that saw her on the last A and B.
Oh, yeah. I was like on my way to work, and I guess whoever viewed it, they live in my town, and I guess they worked in a restaurant that I go to like all the time. It's called China Taste. I can't help it. I love me some Chinese food. And I go that way when I'm going to work to catch the bus. And I was walking by, and I always go there. I stop there to get like an egg roll or something, but I didn't stop there that day because I was running late. I passed by, and he came out of the shop and was like, "Hey, I saw you in that video on YouTube." And my mind, I was just like, I was worrying about going to work. I was like, "Huh, the video? What?" And then he told me, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I was on that." And we talked for a little bit, and it was awesome. It's really awesome, to be honest.
The crazy thing is, when I did the video, of course, and that's why I forgot to say on part 1 when I was talking about like Asian guys, because I meant to do a video, but you know how like when you're trying to get and then all of a sudden when on the way going to Texas. Yes, going to Texas. I was sitting on the plane, and in between who I sat next to, it was like a beautiful donut. On this side was a sexy, soccer player, Asian guy, and on this side, I don't know what he did, but he did something with a computer that sounded boring, but it sounded like it was like one of those very important jobs. I'm like, ooh, sound like we need you in this world, because whatever you do sound like it's that damn important. So that what was going on. So one of them hit me up. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I just, was going through YouTube, the soccer one. That was so weird because he kind of looked like my ex Yan. So I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So I was like, "Yay!" to me and all that stuff. But going back to the real seriousness at hand, a lot of the main questions, because a lot of people are like, "Okay, we need to get to the nitty gritty when it comes to like the good, the bad, and the ugly." And of course, if you guys have not seen the first video that we did, part 1, you can definitely check it in the description box down below, where I was, all of us ladies were introducing ourselves, our educational backgrounds and everything, to definitely show and clarify that not every woman, regardless whether we're black or not every woman's the same. You know what I'm saying? And all of us have different personalities. All of us have different college degrees, all different backgrounds, you know, cultures, nationalities. So you can't judge a book by its cover or based off of stereotypes and all those negative things that you see out there in the world. So with that being said, in our conversation when we were, in our conversation when we were talking about AMBW, for those who may not know, AMBW stands for Asian Men and Black Women. The main thing that I got was from this guy named Coy. And feel free to jump in anytime. Coy says, when it comes to himself, okay, Coy, all right, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Coy says when it comes to himself, he always finds himself dating Asian women or white women just because it seems a lot easier, but he definitely prefers Black women. It's harder because his parents are not that accepting of it. What can he do? Because we help motivate him from video one.
I think that you said his name is Coy.
Yeah.
I think Coy. I think you should approach what you like, and I say that because if you don't know, then how will you know if that's what you truly like? And because your parents aren't accepting, you have to realize that you just want to date this person. You're not going to like take them to the altar just yet. So I feel like that you should do it regardless of what your parents think, because at the end of the day, your happiness is what needs to be in play and not what your parents think is best for you, because parents don't always know what's best.
My best advice on this is at the end of the day, because like, you know, my parents come from and yeah, it's true, you know, when it comes to the end of the day, it's not that the person has anything against you. Now, if you know for a fact that your parents have something against the person, and it's not nothing to do with them, it's more so of the fact that it's like a racial thing, then it's just, damn it, they're racist. Let's just take that as a fact. But a lot of times, from what I can say, from my personal experience, because my mom's from Haiti, so she would have always preferred me to be with a Haitian guy. And I had to get down to the nitty-gritty of understanding why is it have to be Haitian. And it's not until I realized that that's all she knew, that's what she grew up with, and in her head she felt more stability, more security, and that, you know, traditions and cultures and everything will not be diluted. It'll just stay the way that it is. And it's like, if you instill all those great qualities in me, there's nothing that's going to be diluted. The only difference is I'm sharing it with someone else. That's the beauty of, you know, dealing with people of all different nationalities, backgrounds and stuff, is that you're sharing. You know what I'm saying? And that's about it. But in the sense of Coy, yeah, like I said, you do have some family that do threaten the whole cut your allowance, or we're gonna disown you and stuff. That happens in my family. And yes, you see me, I'm chocolate, and yes, Cuban parents and yes, Haitian parents do threaten to, boycott their kids, or say that you ain't my child anymore and things like that. But let me tell you something. If you keep your foot firm and you make you put your foot firm and say this is what you want and this is what you're looking for, and this person makes you happy, that you may not end up with that person a week from now, 2 months from now, whatever. But at the end of the day, when you find that person that you're really into, they're not gonna test you on it. Parents, when it comes to foreign parents, they only go as far as you allow them. And even though I know a lot of them, like, you ain't met my parents. You ain't met my mama. So trust me. Parents only go as far as you allow them to. And once you put your foot down and let them know, yo, I'm an adult. Yes, at a certain degree, I will allow you to dictate, or I allow you to control or speak on certain aspects of my life. But this here, I'm not budging on. Not to say when it blows up in your face, if it doesn't work out, they ain't going to say, I told you so. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they'll respect the fact that you are standing your ground and you're expressing how you feel. You know?
Like, I mean, the way I view it is, parents are never really going to like who you date. Like, you can date someone who they like, but it's still going to be something about that person that they do not like. When it comes to actually dating someone that you want to be with, rather than dating what your parents want you to date, don't let yourself be miserable and unhappy with who you're dating because you're making somebody else happy. I mean, when it comes to trying to date outside your race, if you're foreign, it comes with the package. Your parents are not going to be happy right off the bat. What you have to do is you really actually sometimes you need to sit down and talk to them. Maybe if you sit down and talk to them, let them know, this is who I like, and it has nothing to do with their race, it has nothing to do with this or that. Just let them know that you actually like the person. Like, most parents, when they realize that you actually have feelings for this person, they'll back off. Or if they don't back off, sooner or later they'll realize there's nothing that they can really do. Mm-hmm. Especially if you really, really have feelings and love this person. Don't limit yourself to someone or a certain race or certain races because you feel like it'll make someone else happy. And at the end of the day, it's only you who you're trying to make happy, because it is your life. I mean, do what you want to do, love who you want to love, and be with who you want to be with.
And that's what it basically all boils down to. Now, the one thing I always get is, like, the next question I'm going to ask you guys that I got was that from our personal, well, the question's to us, from all our personal experiences, have we ever gone through a situation where the relationship was good, but it didn't work out because the family wasn't accepting? How did it play out? How did you overcome it, if you did, or how did it play out?
I had a situation where I was dating this guy, and he happened to be Japanese, and everything was fine up till, like, he wanted to introduce me to his parents. Like, his dad was such a sweetheart. We talked about everything and anything, but his mom, oh my gosh. This woman had to say every negative stereotype about a black person ever. And it was just so bad. And, like, with me, like, he would tell me, oh, she doesn't know any better, and, just ignore her. And it pissed me off because he said, ignore her, but you're not even correcting her or telling her, like, this is not true. And it just got to the point where, like, I couldn't take it anymore, because, like, I like your son for who he is and what he stands for, but for you to, like, blatantly say these negative things about me, you don't even know me from a can of paint. I just couldn't take it anymore. And one day, like, when we were I was at his house and we were having dinner with his family, his grandmother was, like, really nice to me, and it was still, like, weird because, like, she's, like, the older generation, the one that people always say, oh, because she's in the older generation, she doesn't like the interracial or the mixing, and that's not true. But the mother, she was like, I don't like you, you're not good for my son. And I just got so pissed. Like, I just end up, like, tossing my food all over the place. And I just got pissed off. And yeah, I didn't want to feed into that angry black woman stereotype, but enough is enough. You're not going to sit here and call me all types of negative names. So I just told her, you just sacrifice your son's happiness because you have a negative, you have negative innuendos against me. Like, you don't even know me. You assume that I'm from the hood and I'm not. You assume that I grew up poor and I didn't. And all these things that I just couldn't take it anymore. So, I just, like, left. And to this day, that was, like, maybe 2-3 years ago. I didn't even talk to him. I see him, but I don't even talk to him. It just made me, I don't want to be with someone whose parents going to make me feel less than myself when I'm not, and I'm more than myself. Like, my parents raised me up right, so I don't feel like I should bow down to anyone or I should suck it up or take anything from anyone. No, I'm not going to do that because that's not how I am.
I mean, Personally, I can honestly say that with an Asian guy, I've never really went or gone through something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I get to the panel when it's black women speaking on relationships and things like that with black men, I can get into that. Now I've had a black a mixed mom who's half black, half white, and was like, she's Haitian. They're only good enough to clean servants. You don't marry or date the help. Is what I got. That was the worst thing I've ever gotten from a parent. But when it came to Asian guys, there was one. The last one I dated, the one that was Chinese and British. He let me know, like, look, my mom doesn't like any girl, and mind you, I'm Chinese, so even if I married a Korean, a girl from Thailand, it doesn't even matter if the girl's not Chinese and she didn't handpick this girl, she's not gonna like the girl. I've never had the privilege of meeting his mom, but his mom already knew. His father could care less, because his father was like, thank God, my son ain't gay. I'm just glad, and the girl's beautiful, and that's all that mattered for the dad. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that you made that point about the situation when you were saying when you were around him, the mom wasn't accepting, but the grandmother didn't really care. Right. Because my sister, as you guys know, my sister Tara, I did a video with my niece Bella, and she's, Mexican, Haitian, and Cuban, gorgeous little girl. And so they're at the store.
Cute, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. So they're at the store, shopping at a grocery store, and this Asian lady keeps staring at my sister, with, Bella. And so when they got close enough by the produce section, she, tapped her son and was like, you need to have a baby like this. What's taking you so long? What is the problem? And he was like, but Mom, wait, you don't have a problem with me dating a black girl? And she looked at him and was like, a black girl? What, am I a racist? Why would I care? Just as long as you have a kid. By now you wasted all this time. You could have had a kid. You could have been this could have been your baby. And she was like going in. And she was like, well, I don't understand. What would ever have you think that I would have a problem with you dating a black girl? Didn't I start off a life here for you in America? So in that situation, all it showed me was a lot of times the guys don't even have the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so crazy because it's like, how do you know what your parents will or will not accept unless you open that into a conversation, you show and prove. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm waiting for Baby to share her experience.
I'm coming. Well, with me, I had. Can I share 2 stories?
Oh no, you can share as much as you want.
Okay. The first one, I'm gonna start off with sharing the story with how my parents reacted to a boyfriend that I had being Asian. Because I think I want to start off there. I don't know, it's better for me. The neighborhood I live in is mainly black. There's no white people, there's no Mexicans, no nothing. It's only black people. And he's Vietnamese. And he wanted to come and see me one day. And I said, sure. I'm thinking he's going to come in like a car or something like that. He comes walking. I was hoping that he would not walk, because if he walked, then my neighborhood, everybody's outside, they're looking. He walked, and he felt everyone, when he came across that corner into my neighborhood, eyes like locked straight on him, like, and their faces were like, why are you here? Like, who are you? And stuff like that. And he came to my house, and he knocked on the door, and I opened the door, and I'm looking like, where's your car? And then I realized, oh no, he walked. So he gets to my house, and I tell you, I lie to you not, my entire neighborhood knocked on my back door. And I opened the door, and they're all like, oh my God, can we say hi to him? Can we meet him? I was like, sure. But my mom, on the other hand, this woman, she comes in, she's like, why is there this is what she's like, why is there some ching chong inside of my living room? And he's sitting right there. And I'm like, this isn't my boyfriend. And she's like, why are you dating an Asian kid? Like, what do you like about him? Like, what? And I'm like, And it's funny because the entire neighborhood is sitting right here at the door. They're hearing what she's saying, and then he's sitting there, so he's hearing what she's saying. And I'm just looking at her like, "Are you serious right now?" And she just was like, "I don't want this high yellow guy inside of my living room. Move him like now." And it was so embarrassing to me because black women always complain about how the Asian parents aren't accepting, but black parents can be just as cruel.
No, yeah, it's true. It's definitely, and I'm glad that you made that point because what's so crazy is that everybody get a hassle. Anytime it's something different, especially different in your culture, different towards your family, they're not gonna get on board. My mom, for her, it got to a point where she's like, she's just not gonna bring a Haitian guy home. Just make sure he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? And she just, you know what I'm saying? Had I would have buckled down, and mind you, I was grinding on it like I am not budging for 3 years. And after 3 years, she was like, I washed my hand of it. And that's what made her open herself to realize that all the guys she brings over are nice. They're respectful. You know, they always call me by my last name. They always want to see how I'm doing, and they're family-oriented. So she knows what she's doing, you know? But I'm glad that you made that. But don't forget to share that second story.
Oh yeah, I'm going to the second story. She's okay with. She realized that I liked him, so she's okay now. She even buckled down and apologized to him. She apologized to him and she apologized to his parents. She did both because he went home and I guess he told his parents. His parents were real upset. So she apologized and everything's cool now. But the second one was a different guy. He was Chinese, and we had been dating for a year, and I went to meet his parents. His mom was the coolest woman I had ever met in the world. Like, she was so nice, so sweet to me. His dad, on the other hand, was not. I kid you not, when I first met him, he called me a nigger, pretty much. He didn't like the fact that I was black. He didn't like it at all. He would find imperfections with me to just flat out say. And his mom, his wife was there, and she gave him this look that was just like, oh my God. Hold on a moment, you guys. I'm sorry. He just like, the mom got onto him so hard, and she was just like,
in a situation like that, that's why I'm like, see, that's why a lot of times people avoid the whole, you know, because they just don't want to deal with that. You know, the extra. I remember my sister when we were living in the suburbs of Chicago. For some reason, because you know, like I always say, when you know wherever we lived, it was like 90% white, 10% other. So that 10% would be Asian, Caribbean islands, African, Black American, Hispanic, and you know that niche is very small for 10% out of 90. It's like 95%, 5% other. So there was this guy that she would always get the Asian guys, no matter what. She always got. I don't know if it's because her eyes are extra slanted. I don't know if it's the red hair, but for some reason she always got the Asian guy. And there was one named Jingma that she really liked, and he was like, you know, buying her CDs, like buying her things and showing her things. Not like buying her affection. I want to make that clear to people. But the things he were buying was basically educating her about him and where he came from, which since he was from Thailand. So he bought a, greatest album, Thailand music, Thailand movie, and, basically helping her, get into it. So one day he decided to go to, his mom owned a bunch of spa places. So she went with him thinking, oh my goodness, we live in a suburb. Everybody's Chicago's very segregated. I could only imagine how the mom's going to act. The mom was like, welcome! Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful! And my sister was like, really? I'm like, my sister actually fell in love with the mom more than she did with the guy. And the hardest part was the breakup because she didn't want to break up with him because she wanted to hold on to the relationship with the mom. So, I'm sorry, we're going to let you finish what you were saying.
Okay, sorry about that. But the dad was really keen on just throwing racial slurs at me, whether it was racial, whether it was, oh, I don't want her to come here because she's probably going to steal some of my things. I don't want her to steal some of my things. I don't want her to touch some of my things. And I don't know how to cook very well, but I would cook. And he would be like, no, don't eat that. That's fat food. That's why black people are really big now, because they're eating stuff like that. And it shocked me because before me and him broke up, he actually finally, I guess he had enough too, because he snapped on his dad, like dead in front of me and his mom. And he was just like, you're very racist and this, and that, and that. And I find it very interesting because all he had to do was just talk to him about it. Yeah. It wasn't like it was ultra, ultra hard. Mm-hmm. All you had to do was talk to him about it. After that, I got like the most respect.
You know what I think it is? I think as children, as being children to foreign parents in America, the problem is that we try to live up to their standards regardless. We try everything to live it up to their standards, because if something's wrong, they look at you like negative, and you don't want that from your parent. Like, some part of you idolize your parents because they came here from another country, they started afresh, and they left everything, back home. So I feel like for most kids, most children, we assume that, okay, if I bring home someone that's the opposite of me, I'm going to get, slack because of it. But then again, at the end of the day, you always find your way. You always find your way because, you say to yourself, like, oh, I think that Asian guy's really cute. But if I bring him home, my parents would, like, judge me. So they were like, oh, what's wrong with the black guy? Or what's wrong with African guy? And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, it's whatever you see that's around you, that's what you go for. It's not like you're intentionally choosing this person. You can't help who you're attracted to. If that person is a man, I am attracted to that man. It don't matter his color or anything. But like I was saying, like, as children, we just don't want to disappoint our parents. But at the end of the day, it's like, do I disappoint my parents and suffice my happiness, or do I keep my happiness at bay and talk to my parents? And sometimes as children, we're so scared for the reaction that we probably just don't even talk about it when talking can solve everything.
Yeah. See, because I know when, because I can honestly say, and I can say that for a lot of guys, because I've spoken to some guys that share their input that are in interracial relationships, and I can say this is more so for I'm gonna say this is more so for like the white Americans that come from all suburbs and Asians. I can definitely say it's the one I get this type of situation the most, where they're choosing to like the first guy who's the question I said, they're choosing to do or be with the person that they think that their family would approve of. But at the end of the day, they're always living that double life where they're with the person that they feel like their family would approve of, but they're sneaking and doing their own thing to be with what they want to be with. And it's like, that's so thin. You're wearing yourself so thin. It's not even that serious. Like, let me say something. For me, growing up, and, just like many of us whose parents come from overseas and stuff like that, all your parents always instill your pride of your culture, your pride of your everything about you, be proud. Everything strong about you. And everything about you, down to your DNA, it's all because of your nationality. So you always feel like a sense of pride, but you also feel like a sense of obligation. But the way everybody, like the way my parents conducted and did their life, that's the way they did it, because that's what worked for them. The way I choose to live my life is the way I choose to. When I'm telling you that I had to fight to have my mom fully understand that at the end of the day, I don't have nothing against Haitian guys, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. It's just I can't help it. My preference is my preference. If you didn't want me to be with a European guy, a Latin guy, or any of those different, you raised me in that lifestyle. You raised me around so many different. I went to international elementary school, everything international except high school. So I'm like, so you can't. It's gonna be normal. Of course, I'm gonna want to, what I'm saying? And then it's just, I don't know. It's not easy. Yes, it seems like, yeah, they're gonna disown you. My mom never went so far as to disown me or anything like that. She just realized that at the end of the day, she ain't budging. The guy ain't gonna be Haitian. I'm just gonna have to accept it. and be okay with it. And that's all that matters.
Right.
The frustrating part, and especially if you're trying to give your relationship a try, especially when it's interracial, and particularly because we're talking about A and BW, nothing puts a strain on your friendship and your relationship with the guy that you're dating as a black woman when you're dating outside your race. And I'm gonna mainly say when it comes to Asian guys too, nothing puts a strain on your relationship like knowing that you're allowing so much to take place, and you're just sitting there and like, okay, well, you just have to take it. Yes, out of respect, you could only take so much, but it's like you gotta put your foot down to a degree.
Right.
You know, it can't go on that far. I mean, I can only speak from the experience that I went through, but when I went through that, I never went through that with an Asian parent. But then again, because I date older and I prefer older guys, by that point, that guy's like 40-some, never had a kid, not even married. So his parents like, I don't give a damn. The girl is attractive. You can have a baby. In fact, have 17 on the road because you so far up your schedule type of thing.
Right,
So,
right.
it's like, at the end of the day, we all, if we cut everybody up, everybody's going to bleed red. All it's all about, it doesn't even matter the color of your skin, your background, whatever. All it all boils down to is if you like the person for who they really are and you appreciate them, make it your effort to open the minds of others that you know that are going to hinder your situation. Open them up, and even if they're not willing to open up, don't you close yourself up, or don't you allow so much chaos to enter your life and the life of the person that's attached to you that you're trying to make it happen.
Right.
It don't even make sense to go that far.
Because life is all chicken nuggets and biscuits.
Now the next question I got, it was actually this Asian girl. I didn't get a permission to ask if it was okay for me to use her name because she didn't reply enough time. But she has a YouTube channel. And she was basically saying, why is it that you guys think that Asian women are more open to date interracially and they don't really care compared to Asian guys? Like, what's the hold up?
I think
the legacy.
I think it's because with Asian women, they're leaving their families. They're going to another family. They're starting their own family, and they're gonna take the husband's last name. Whereas the man, he's not gonna take any last name but what the family name he's given. So that's why I think it's a lot easier for Asian women to date outside their race versus, Asian men. So I think that's from my perspective. That's what I think.
I think because lately more Asian women have been dating outside of their race, to be honest, and they don't. I think the women, the only really thing that they really want to get out of a relationship is, like Tomi said, a family of their own, which is theirs. So they don't really see a reason to go through the whole, oh, I shouldn't date this guy because he's Mexican. I shouldn't date this guy because he's Polish. I shouldn't date this guy. They're not going to go through that because they just want to have a family. They want to have their family, have their babies, have their cute little children, and be like, oh my gosh, it's my family. They want to be happy. They don't care. The men, on the other hand, I think they're more along the lines of not wanting to be judged. Or of not wanting to face that backlash, or not wanting to regret that they're with this and that person. That's what I think on that one.
To me, I think that to a certain degree, yeah, I definitely agree with what you said, Tomi, that at the end of the day, when it comes to the girl, just like a lot of foreigners, like in my culture, if I were to marry an Indian, my life is now Indian. You know what I'm saying? I can mix as much the Haitian Cuban that I want, depending on if it's gonna be open enough to be in the household. But culturally speaking, my life is Indian now. And at the end of the day, as a woman, when you marry, you're marrying with that guy into that family, living that man's life, and just making your life into the life that is already there. But it's almost like I don't know why is it when it comes to women and men, when it comes to a woman, when she wants what she wants, she sticks to her guns. But when it's a guy, they're almost like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
like they iffy.
It's like hopscotch. Like jump your ass in. It's not that
Right.
hard.
Right.
You know? And
Mhm.
all, because like for me, like I said, my mom was not open into me dating guys that were not Haitian. It don't matter if they, and mind you, just like America, in Haiti you got Middle Eastern Haitians, you got Jewish Haitians, you got Asian Haitians, you got all variety, just like you do all over the world too. But the thing is that for her it was like, I don't care, just you got to be Haitian, 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 Haitian. It's like, you know. But I had to open her eyes by making friends of people from all different types of walk of life to bring them around, have her see for herself, not based off of stereotypes of what she see on TV, what she, you know, what other people say about other people. Just introduce her to the fact that, hey, you said this and that about this person, or you felt this and that about this is how these people are, but look at this. You know what I'm saying? And then what was so crazy was it's not until one day we were watching some old '70s show. I can't remember. It was like one of those popular shows, and they had made like, you know, stereotypes saying all Haitian people have AIDS, and she was like, where the hell did that come from? And she was pissed off and mad. And I'm like, well, how would you feel if that's how everybody conducted and treated me? Because at the end of the day, people go for you know, uneducated people is what I say, go for the stupid stereotypes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So I'm like, so how would you feel if you felt like, oh, you're only good enough to be a servant, or you're only good enough for this and that, based off of stereotypes that comes from uneducated people that never even took the time out to educate themselves, to be around situations to educate themselves to know that. I'm like, how would you know that? So once I told her that, that's when she realized, like, damn, you know, you're right. I never even looked at it like that. I'm like, yeah, you make it seem like all the stereotypes about other people is true because you're not from this country, whatever. But you need to understand, in the world, they have stereotypes about everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's already bad enough that even though they say the world is like a melting pot, to me it's like a frozen salad. All the ingredients are just not barely touching each other. But so I know for myself, you know, I just want to make it where if I want to make it for whoever I end up with, whoever I end up marrying. I don't want it to be a situation, even though it will be, it could be a reality where you're gonna judge me based off of something because of the color of my skin.
Right, right.
To know if I was educated or not. I mean, you guys already know I'm in my 30s, never been married, no children, never had a child, never been on drugs, college educated, like all the great things that they would stereotypically say that you would find in other women, but not black women. But there are a lot.
Right.
Come on.
I feel like there's always a way to bring down a woman regardless. Yeah. Every single way. There's always a way. And I feel like as women, like we shouldn't allow that to happen, but it does happen, especially as black women. They assume that we're all uneducated, which is not true. And like you said in your last video, we're the highest gender and race that is highly educated and degrees obtained. So to me, it's like you can feed into the stereotype as much as you want, but statistics don't lie. Yeah. So, and then also it's just that it comes to a point where like you said, like you can entwine the culture, and I feel like that when a woman marries, some parents may feel like, oh, if my child marries a different culture, she's gonna lose her culture. You can never lose your culture. That's a by choice. That's why when a woman, like that's what I understand with Asian men, if you should be able to marry anyone you want to, because anyone can learn a culture. Culture can be taught and learned, and you can teach them as much as you. So you can teach exactly. You can teach anyone anything if that person is willing to learn. Because I mean, that person's gonna be willing to learn because they love you. So I don't see what's the issue. Like the parents are making it such a big deal. I'm saying to myself, like if I'm equally matched with your son and we got the same degree, I probably might have a PhD and he has an MD. We still both doctors in different fields, and you know, like what's the problem? If I want to learn Chinese, I'm gonna learn Chinese because I love my man. If I want to learn Japanese, I'm gonna learn it. I want to learn whatever language I want to because for the sake of my family that I'm going to start myself, then it can be done. that's why I'm like, why these parents be acting like that? Like, it's not even that serious. I feel like everything can be taught and learned. Like, the same thing with racism. Racism is taught. I mean, it's not learned. You can't learn racism. If someone's telling you something negative about someone, they're teaching you to be negative about that particular race. And then the fact that we are from America where everything is diverse, it shouldn't be like that. And like I said, your culture can be taught to anyone you come in contact with, especially if you want to build a family with that person.
And it's, most important, especially if the person's willing and open. Willing and open. Now, the next question that I got, and I definitely want to thank all of you guys for these good questions. These are some pretty, good questions. Mm-hmm. The next question is that, okay, 950W Gady wrote, interesting name, 950W Gate 80 wrote, why does it seem that when it comes to Asian women and black women that it's like a fantasy or fetish? What does that mean? I don't know, because the person didn't really elaborate. What I'm going to say, and like I said in other videos, I noticed that the thing I don't like is when people do that whole stereotype and things like that and try to put people in boxes. People are too diverse, especially in this day and age, to put somebody in a box.
Right.
If you're going to put somebody in a box, put them in their own individual box. Like, I'm Patu, I'm in my own box. Only thing I can say that I'm assuming this means is that I can honestly say as a black woman, and just like I was telling my Cuban friend I was like, as a black woman, it's so hard. Just like for Asian women, you have a lot of guys that are into them for the fetish of the stereotype that they're super freaky and so submissive. But just as well as I know, there's some Asian girls out there that's not like that. They're like sisters, even, with the whole thing of snapping and, things like that.
Right.
But me, from what I see, is that I noticed that, when it comes to black women, it's almost like it's a delicacy thing. It's almost like I want to see what it's like to sleep with a black girl, what it's like to date. Like, it's like almost like it's a field trip. I want to see what it's like to date a black girl, kiss a black girl.
Science project.
I honestly think that's what he or she means by that question. Why do people think that it's amazing? Like, oh my God, like, oh, you're a black girl? I want to have sex with you. Is it okay if I have sex with you? And then they go and brag and they're like, I had sex with this black girl. I did this with this black girl. I think it's honestly because black women are seen, like, especially in media, and not only in the media, some people act this way. They're seen as very vivacious, sexy women. And I guess that's something that deep down the men want that.
Right.
And they want to be with that vision of that sexy woman. And with Asian women, in Asia, they're big on beauty. They're big on being beautiful. So I think it's because the guys, they want to be with that standard of beauty. I mean, I understand the question, and I don't understand the question. I tried.
I understand the question, but then I don't. I mean, the only thing I can say is, I cannot personally say is, I've dated a few Asian guys that didn't mean to be racist. You could tell that's not what they were on, because their English wasn't that good. But they were like, "Oh, I like you because of your skin." And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice, because I've dated some white guys. I've dated some European guys. I've dated some Latin guys that for some reason, I don't know what it is. When it comes to that skin, they love the contrast of color. They love knowing, ooh, when I hug this chocolate is like so different from my skin, and things like that. So for me, when I would let them know, like, I understand what you're saying, but you don't want to word it like that, because you don't want somebody to mistake it as that. And a lot of times, ladies, you have to understand, if somebody's trying to communicate with you, they don't really have to. But the fact that they're communicating with you and allowing you to understand where they're coming from, what they're doing, you can't jump to conclusion and assume that the person means harm, means to be negative, or means to be racist, unless they intentionally are trying to. But in a situation where that guy was like, oh, I like a black girl, I like their chocolate skin, instead of me like, oh, he a racist, I didn't do all that. I was like, oh, okay, I can understand. He's just trying to let me know this is why he find me so attractive, why he loved black women, because they're chocolate. He loved the skin. He loved, and he was going like all like eyes closed, like I love the skin, the color. When I hug, we laid together, arm in arm. I was like, dang, yeah, you love some chocolate and stuff like that. You know, but it's like, I don't know. Now, the next question that I got was, when it comes to Asian guys, oh, okay, Achello Theo. Okay, thank you, Achello Theo. Achello Theo wrote a question saying, when it comes to Asian guys, why does it seem like certain nationalities women are more drawn into? For example, Koreans. Why are black women so crazy for Korean guys?
K-pop.
But at the end of the day, it seems like from what I gather, it's always Filipinos, always guys from Thailand, Japan, and China that are more willing, open, and bold enough to take that leap. I'm going to say the only reason I can say women, to tell you the truth, out of all the Asians that I grew up with and everything, I forgot all about Koreans. Like, I forgot all about them until I got into AMBW, and then, you know, my little niece, you know, my sisters grew her up in K-pop music and stuff like that. She even speaks some of the language a little bit and stuff like that. So for me, I forgot about Koreans because growing up, all I knew was everybody else, not Koreans. I forgot all about them. So it was just like, oh, okay, you know. But I will admit, the ones that are bolder, that ain't scared, they never scared, are mainly always Japanese, you know, guys from Thailand, guys from Philippines, and like, why is that, is what they're asking us from our experience.
That's a good question. I feel like maybe because I feel like Japanese are more like, they're like upfront about it versus other nationalities, because I think it's more of an interest. Like, oh, like, you're black, you like Asian guys. That's what it, and when you say yeah, they're like, oh wow, and it's kind of interesting to see how like excited they get because they are dating a woman of a different nationality, or at that a different race, and for them, it's probably like, you know, there's other Asian women dating outside their race. Maybe I should try it too. And I feel like there's like a larger mixed population in Japan versus in Korea or China. So that could also be a reason too.
I agree. I mean, if you're in a place where you don't even see many people outside of your race, you're not that keen on really dating them, because I mean, you don't understand anything about them, to be honest. The first thing you think is really, oh well, they're different, and then you look at them, they're just like, oh, your skin, your color, you're so different. They don't want to, and then they're afraid. Like most of the times, they're afraid to even talk to you because either they think you're gonna be mean, either think you're different, you're not even gonna understand them. And plus, their entire culture is different. Koreans are not a very diverse. They don't have a very diverse culture, like not at all. Versus Japan and the Filipinos, whatever. Versus Japan and everyone else, because they do have a more of a diverse culture. I mean, Japan pretty much. I mean, they're Japan. It's Japan.
And I think.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and then the thing about Koreans, they're so set on being pure. I'm like, ain't nobody in this world is pure. It don't matter if you're in the same country or continent. We all have some type of mixture in us. So, and I think that's the thing about that. It's like people are like, and like Patu said, she forgot about Koreans. I personally, when I'm into Asian guys, I'll be like, oh yeah, I like this Korean guy. I'm like, Koreans? Like, I was like,
what's that?
Exactly. So it's always like Filipinos, Japanese, men from Laos, or Taiwanese, and my friend like, Korean? You don't know Korean guys? I'm like, I I'm sorry, not me. But and it's just like, wow, what can you do? But at the same time, it's like I feel like they're like she said, Shaquana said, is the K-pop. That's what that is, the K-pop, because every AMBW group that you go to, just like, oh yeah, K-pop this, K-pop that. I'm like, golly, wow, maybe I need to start listening to K-pop and be into Korean guys or something. So I think that's what that is. So I mean, I'm not saying I dislike Koreans. I love Koreans, but I've never dated a Korean man. Yeah, they fine.
We get along.
Exactly.
That's all that matters. Up in this piece.
Right.
I think it's just the women are wanting to be with that K-pop image. That's what I think that most women are really thinking of now. That sexy, buffed up, tatted Korean guy, everything that cute.
Wait, buffed up? I never seen
say like Rain.
Well, I've seen them buffed up. And it is nice. It's nice. There are also, you have to, don't limit yourself just to Korean guys. Like, there are other people that can be just as fine and have just as sexy voices and can be just as awesome with that nice six pack and those tattoos. I'm sorry, I'm going off on the tangent.
All right.
Now this question, well, we got a few more questions, but this question is actually where this person, anonymous, wanted to know. Okay, Patu, but I'm going to address it to you guys too. Okay. Patu, I noticed that on your videos, when you do talk about AMBW, you get such a bad rep, or I see you get negative comments. But especially when it comes to AMBW, black women dating Asian men. What are your serious thoughts on Asian people that says that is not true? Asian guys are not into black women. They do not date black women. Okay, so I'm going to answer first, and you guys answer it too. Let me tell you.
Okay.
Audience, y'all might need to get some glasses, put your headphones on, get a little closer. When I hear people tell me that Asians are not into black people, I think that doesn't make any damn sense. Since I have been a little kid, there has not been a time that I have not had an Asian guy approach me. And you, as a lot of you guys may know, when it comes to certain guys from certain nationalities, particularly Asian guys, their way of asking you out is being your friend first. So when they're your friend, they hang out with you, they communicate, they always want to invite you to their events, gatherings, and friends and stuff. Like, get you familiarized with them and their friends. And when they're comfortable and they build up that confidence and they know for a fact that the chances of you not saying no because you're a random stranger, they're going to take that leap. So I've never, ever, ever had a situation where, and even when I hear guys that say, oh, that's not true, Asian guys don't date black girls. Well, I'm going to believe it when Asian women do not date anybody but Asian guys. So until that happens, I don't believe it. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of mixed babies, just like that big singer now, Lee Michelle, and that mixed baby that was in Lee Michelle's music video. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. It's like, when I was growing up in the 80s, I had a Japanese aunt. Yeah, she was the only one that had slanted eyes. Because at the time, in our family, everybody was, European, Caribbean, stuff like that. But it wasn't to the point where it's like, oh, so shocking. So if that could happen in the 80s, and mind you, that was the 80s. I see so many different, what I'm saying? Even when I was working at a clothing store for the holidays, because I don't know if I can say their name because I don't want to give them no shout out. But I was working at this clothing store every time around the holidays, you want to work an extra job to get that extra money to hurry and get the gifts. Ran in there, and there was a few times I met a few different Asian parents and grandparents. I was like, oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. And they would hear me talking on the phone or something. They hear me speak another language, and they were like, oh my gosh, your parents are, oh, okay. I had a nice Haitian friend or this and that. Oh my goodness, you would be so great for my grandson. You would be so great for my son. So when I hear people say that's not true, that is not true. And I can tell you There has not ever been a damn time I've went to anywhere that wasn't an Asian, maybe Chinatown, whatever, and me just walking around with my jeans cuffed up on my booty cheeks with a nice little blouse, some high heels, and my purse and my arm cuffed up like this, that I have not ever gotten somebody smiling, flirting, and making sure before I get off the block, hey, you know, I like you. And they don't speak English. They get to the basic. I like you. Number. Right. Okay. I can work with that. Okay? So when people say that, or when guys, or especially when it comes to Asian guys, oh, Asian guys don't date black girls. And the crazy thing is just like I said earlier before we got on live, I'm like, do you know how many times I click on them same people that make those little stupid remarks? And when you check the little history of videos that they like, it's always about A and B videos, but particularly A and B videos where you see an Asian guy together with a black woman. So I'm like, so what you do? You go around just dogging out everybody because you a hater? Maybe because you want some chocolate? Maybe them Snicker bars ain't doing you justice? Them Nestle Crunch, them Hershey Kisses? You want to get in some chocolate? That could probably be why you hate. Don't hate. Congratulate. Okay. You guys thoughts and feelings towards it?
My feeling towards it is people are always going to be negative regardless. And for the simple fact that you took your time out to make a negative comment on a video says a lot about yourself in real life. Like, you won't say the things you say on the video in real life. And then also, I just feel like just because that person in particular, because they don't see it, they assume that it's not happening, it's not there. Oh, trust and believe. It's a lot. I live right next to NYC, the city of all diversity and all interracial relationships. I've seen so many A and BW relationships. I'm like, damn, I live in the wrong state. Maybe I need to go to NYC or something. But, I mean, I just feel like someone's always trying to put someone down. And, I mean, you don't know that man's life. That man could be dating all the black women for all you know. And I just feel like it was just someone else trying to just troll, pretty much. I don't be listening to them haters. I'm like, if you like chocolate, you know, I could get you some plus me, so you know.
Don't be one of those undercover chocolate lovers. Which means you take a bite, you got baby wipes to wipe off the evidence. Trying to hide the evidence of you
right?
Chocolate, okay?
You should be out in the open with it, shoot.
You know, I mean, to me, like I said, and the next question that same person just made for that question, do you sincerely feel like, just like how interracial relationships with black women used to be taboo with black women and white men, do you think there ever come a time where, when it comes to MBW, it just be a thing of the past? I personally think it'll become a thing of the past when we move forward to let it be a thing of the past. I mean, yes, it's true. Now in society, it's more open to see black and white, black and Hispanic together. You know, you don't really see much of a hassle like you used to back in the day. But, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just basically, it all boils down to, if you like someone and if you're into them, regardless of their color of their skin, if you already know the people that you lean on or the people that are your support system, your friends, your family, you need to help them understand where you come from. They may not care for it, but they have to learn to respect where you stand. Just like you respect what they do. Because I'm sure if you go down the list of the stuff they did, you pretty much wouldn't care for it anyway. But, you know, after that question, the next question is from you women. Oh, hello, Tina. The next question that we have is from you ladies who has dated Asian guys. Your last Asian guy that you dated. What happened? Why are you guys not together now if you are single?
Oh, can I answer first?
Okay.
What happened? Oh, God. Okay. When it comes to things like that, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're Asian. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm black. It mainly depends on either we just weren't right for each other or it just did not work out. With my last boyfriend, it was because he felt the need to talk to other women. He thought it was okay to date more than one woman at one time. I mean, in his mind, it was completely okay. And he didn't tell me when we first started dating, but he told me like later on. He was like, "Oh yeah, I like to date multiple women at one time. I just like," and then it's funny because he tried to excuse it off like, "No, but I like you the most. That's why you're my girlfriend." But that to me, that's so confused. I was so confused when I tell you. I'm just like, what, what do you mean that I love you? I love you the most. That's so confusing. So that was that one, but it depends. It has different reasons for why that happens. It's not just that. It's entirely, and that doesn't go for every Asian man, because I know every Asian guy does not date more than one person at one time.
Right. And stuff. I was just trying to get my camera focused. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Well, no, we'll let you get that together. Tommy, did you want to share your last relationship and why you guys not together anymore?
This story is kind of funny. So, we're not together anymore because he had an issue with my curves. So I would wear certain things. Well, I don't wear anything provocative. It's just that most jeans are form-fitting on me. So, like, when we would go out, I would get other attention from other men, and he'll be like, "Do they not see me standing here? Like, I'm like right here," and I'm like, "I'm sure they see you. You're like on my arm. Like, I'm not paying attention to them. Why are you paying attention to them?" It's like, "They're looking at your butt." I'm like, "They're looking. So what? They're not touching. What's the problem?" And every time we would go out, he'd be like, "Why are you wearing that dress? That dress is too short." I was like, "I can't help it that my derriere is too damn big. I can't do nothing about it. What you want me to do?" Oh gosh, and then I was like, "I can't. I couldn't take it anymore." I was just like, "You know what? We're done. I can't do it." I'm like, "You met me like this. Why are you acting like this? Like, you just started acting like you're my father. I don't need a father. I have a father that tells me, not to do things. I don't need another one. Like, stop." So that's when we just broke up. I was like, "I can't take it anymore." I felt I felt so free afterwards. He was making me like, "I'm gonna kill this man." I'm not. So I just couldn't take it anymore. So I just dumped him.
I wonder what's wrong with my camera.
Well, the last Asian guy I dated, of course, I was telling you guys about it. You know what I'm saying? There was, I actually met him at, you know how you have your layovers at the airport.
Right.
So I met him at the layover, and you know how you have little small talk. So he saw me editing a video I was doing for YouTube, and asking me questions. I was like, "Yeah, I do television, and I do internet stuff, things like that." So it just so happened that he saw me in the ABW group, and he was like, "Wait a minute, I'm not sure if that's that girl, because the girl when I met her, she was a blonde. This woman happens to have black hair, but let me make sure." So when he went through my photos, he realized it was me. It hit me up, but for some reason, every time he photographed, every picture of him didn't look like him. So I was like, con artist, until I video chatted, and I was like, damn, that's him. So our relationship wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that was kind of challenging, because remember I was complaining to you guys a lot. I'm not complaining, but the fact that because of his line of work, since he was in the textile industry, he traveled a lot. And by him traveling so much in and out of the country, and there's times where he'll have to go for 2 weeks and it'll be a little longer. You know what I'm saying? So what made me have to break apart from Mr. Sexy Guy? And mind you, I liked him. My mama loved him and everything because he like blended right in so fast. What made us have to go apart was he had a 5-year plan. Granted, he was 3 years younger than me, and he lied about his age because he knew I like guys older than me, so he lied about his age. So it's not until one day passing his ID after you show it at the people at the bar. Like, wait a minute, yep, 1980, ooh, boo boo, you lied, type of thing. But what made us break up was because he had a 5-year plan. Because he was younger, he wanted to focus on 5 years career, even though his career was already set and ready. But he wanted to be able to pick which country he wanted to live in or whatever. But in the meantime, he wanted me to leave my life and continue living his life without a serious, like, to what I would consider, especially culturally, what I would consider a real sturdy plan to present, you know, and stuff like that. Had I would have known, I would have still been single to this day. I would have took that 5-year plan. So you know what, you was kind of right with that. But since then, you know, I didn't. Since then, of course, as you guys knew, I was dating a, you know, mutt that was like, you know, Moroccan, Middle East, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's what made us break up. But once in a while, he'll reach out. He'll send little messages and say, "Hey, how you doing? Kind of miss you and stuff." So I don't know if there's gonna be a part 2. I seriously doubt it. He's gonna come back with a 5-year plan. But other than that, that's the only reason that we broke up. It was nothing like his mom hated me, dad hated me. Just typical, you know, sometimes life just goes different for people. That's it.
Pretty much.
So what final advice, and you kind of funny that you wrote Shaquan.l.Jones. Shaquan.l.Jones wanted to know, what advice as a black woman in today's society would you give to an Asian man when it's coming to dating and approaching a black woman?
The advice I would give is, don't treat us like we're different. We're the same as any other woman. If you come to us in a respectful manner, we're gonna reciprocate the same thing. But if you come to us in a disrespectful manner, then we're gonna reciprocate the same thing. So I just feel like, be yourself, walk up to us, say hi, how you doing, and start a conversation. Don't automatically assume that we're not gonna show interest, because any woman likes a nice guy that's gonna start a conversation with her. And just be yourself. Don't say, oh, like, we gotta treat black women different. No, like Patu said, we're all different women, yes, but we all have different personalities. So we might do things differently, or our approach might be differently. So just take into consideration, like, you know, if you see what you like, go after it. Like Patu said, you know, just be yourself, and you know, you will get. You don't want that fakeness when you first trying to start something with someone. Always be honest and open. That's the advice that I have.
My advice I would give to Asian guys out there, whether you dated black women or not, and you guys know who you guys are, because I do get some guys, you know, on other social sites like VK, Facebook and stuff, that don't live in the U.S., mainly live overseas, maybe Asia, Japan and stuff, and they'll hit me up like, hey, I want to holler at you, I want to get to know you, I want to come travel and visit you and things, because I love black women, it's just none here, and things like that. Mm-hmm. You don't know until you open that door. So don't just assume the worst or whatever. If you know you come from a place, especially if you come from a family that you're not sure, it doesn't hurt to start the conversation. It doesn't hurt to say, hey, you know what? How would you guys feel if I am not only attracted to my own kind, but I'm also attracted to others? And if I were to date someone else of a different race or a different culture from mine, you know, we have to understand that there's a possibility that's going to happen, especially if you know you live in the U.S. There's a possibility that's going to happen. Make it your mission to educate those who are ignorant, because there are some out there that are ignorant. Make sure it's your mission to educate those that are ignorant, to let them know that there are varieties of styles of people. You can't just throw everybody in one lump sum and just assume, okay, well, all Asian people are Asian. No, you got Japanese, you got, you know, because you find those that are offended, like, no, I'm not just Asian, I'm Japanese, or no, I'm Korean. I'm like, oh, okay, with the finger, ooh, okay, come from right here, all right. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't like it, we don't like it. So just educate those who don't know. Surround them around people, the personalities and, you know, diversity that you like, so they know. You know what I'm saying? And then for those of you Asian guys that are scared and always want to start off as friends, let me say something. When you have a sister that's curvy, you don't want to take too much time. You need to snatch her while you still can. Okay?
Don't end up in that friend zone.
Yeah. Don't end up in that friend zone and everything like that, because I had that happen to me a few times where I've had my Asian friend, and then, you know, another male friend or another Asian sister will tell me, like, oh, I think he liked you. And I'm like, if he liked me, he would have said something. Waited too long, and I'm looking like, you know what I'm saying, you didn't say anything. You know, because what you might think is being coy and taking your time, we're going to take it differently. Because if you're my friend and we do what friends do, and a long period of time go by, you're already in my head, oh, we're friends. So when you come up out of nowhere and have an attitude because somebody else take me on a date because you felt like I should have seen the signs,
Right.
put me out.
Heck no, we can't read your mind.
If we couldn't, trust me, we would. Anybody else would like to offer the last advice for Shaka Khan on what was your last advice you would like to provide Asian men out there that, you know, healthy advice that they need to know?
Me, I want to say that, first of all, when it comes to it, don't come at us in a different way. Especially don't come at us a different way. Don't see us as just being a skin color. Don't see us as just being something that you just want to be with for this time being because you want to explore. See us as a woman or a person that you think that could possibly be in your life. When you come at us in a way that's like, oh, I like black girls, I want to try to date this black girl and stuff like that, we're off the bat, we're already defensive enough. Off the bat, we're going to be defensive after we hear that. Those walls are going to come up, and our defense is going to start. Because it's not that we dislike the fact that you like us, it's that we dislike the fact that you chose us because of our race or color of our skin. Another thing is, don't worry so much about culture. Do what you think is right for you. Be with who you want to be with. Be happy. Be joy. Be walking downtown singing lollipop and stuff like that. Be happy.
And the next thing I was going to definitely want to make sure to say is, I know in my last video, because I was saying that I was going to do that, but I have to go down my YouTube history. But when you guys check on the description box down below, it's an actual Asian guy who's in a relationship with a black woman. And in the video in the beginning, she says, oh, she gave him permission to show examples to other Asian guys. It's not hard to holler at a girl of a different race, particularly a black woman. And in the whole segment of her recording from afar and zooming in, he's hollering at nothing but black women, maybe in the street, maybe at the mall, showing it to Asian guys out there and just men out there that it's not hard. Black women are not what you guys think, where you ask her, hello, hey, what's going on, what you want? Like, no. No. I don't really like, you know,
Right. Exactly.
So until you switched into Shantria.
So I definitely want to thank all of you guys out there for checking out this video, coming to check out the other video. You guys made that video so popular. It actually hit over 300 hits in not even 7 days. And I thank you guys so much. Don't forget, if you want to watch part 1, you can definitely find the description box down below. Any questions that you guys want to ask, especially you Asian men out there that want to ask us ladies, all you have to do is hit us up with the questions, and I'll advertise and let you guys know when we get together to answer all of these questions that you know, questions that you feel like you wanted to be covered. And for a lot of you guys out there that were like, oh, that's not fair, you don't only cover Asians. Remember, this is just a series. We're going to be covering all different nationalities of all different types of varieties of guys. And yes, be on the lookout for the all Asian male panel. For a lot of you guys may not know, yes, I had reached out to Mr. Sexy Kenny Styles himself, and he was more than happy to join. He was just like, let me know so I can get that Wi-Fi ready, and I'll be right there. You know, I love you know, and I was like, whoa, okay, you know, and what I'm going to do is I have to make sure I do a video to show the actual message and show you guys who Kenny Styles Sexy is.
Yeah, because I've never met him before.
He is
an actor.
Asian. Yes.
He's a you guys are lying. Tell what he really is.
I say he's a love doctor.
Hey, ladies,
He's
how do
a
you
love
get
doctor.
Huh?
And of course, as you guys know, my favorite, and even though he's my favorite, he's like a brother to me. I still got eyes, Mr. Melodic Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be part of it. Of course, Famous Amos, I did reach out to him, which I'm trying to work it out because he's in Korea, so the Korean time is a huge difference for what's going on here in the U.S. So, yeah, that's just a little summary of the channel. So any of you Asian guys that are out there, whether your English is good or not, it does not matter. All you got to do is write it in your language in the description, in the little chat box. We got Google Translation. It's 2014. I can translate it and ask the questions. You know what I'm saying? So all of you sisters out there that want to ask questions to my All Asian Men panel, feel free to do so. You just send it in my email box that you'll find in the description box down below. All you Asian guys out there that are interested and wanting to be part of this panel, because remember, we're going to do 1, 2, and by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be 3 if the guys submit more questions when it comes to us black women.
Right.
It's nothing but love here. So do what you got to do. Don't be scared. And like I always say, and for that idiot that did what he did on one of my videos talking about, oh, you got it wrong, it's something about lice. Dude, who are you to tell me, correct me on what statement or saying I want to say? I'm a woman. I can say and speak freely about how I want to say it. So when I say, once you go rice, R-I-C-E, you never look twice, that's what I meant.
Ah!
I know that's right.
Okay. So thank you guys so much for checking us out. Don't forget to check out SCBN Live on Facebook and the Get Inside Me Show on Facebook.com. You'll find the ladies that are in here, and yes, the single. You'll find their links that you can contact them in the description box down below. So thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.